Hey guys, and welcome to Pheas Airsoft, where today I'm going to do an unboxing on this double bell 803B or Scarel in black. Hey guys, and welcome back. If you do enjoy this content today, please do consider liking, commenting, subscribing, because those interactions help me get seen by the YouTube algorithms. That helps the channel to grow. You want to support the channel a little bit more, the link down below will take you to all of my social links, including my Discord. Stop by and say hello. And if you want to support the channel at the highest level, the join button will take you to channel memberships. Totally optional, really appreciated. 99 pence a month or equivalent in your country. Custom videos, giveaways, a bit more of a say in the channel and all that jazz. So we'll get straight into this then. Another unboxing, and I do love a good unboxing. And I am a particular fan of Double Bell of late. I think what they're doing and offering for not an awful lot of money is pretty damn good. So the box itself, as we used to with Double Bell, they are as plain and simple as they come. Just generic cardboard box, a retailer label on one end, warning label on the back. It's rattling about in there, and we've just got obviously marking up on the front which particular model it is, and then it's a Scar L. So we'll get straight in there. A bit of damage from posting because a charging handle was on it, left on it. So we'll open that up, and there she is. Now, full disclaimer, this has been out of the box. It has been test fired already, which we'll talk about. And I've done the disassembly as well, so I can sort of reference things. That is actually a cat hair. Oh my god, nice. So I can talk things through a little bit more whilst we're going through it. So in the box then, the all essential and always loved silica gel. We've got a spare charging handle and screw there. We've got our metal, I believe, high cap, 300 round high cap, which we'll talk about. And that is everything other than the Scar itself. Now, I'll get that out of the way. Bang. So the Scar L. Now immediately when you get it out, there is a nice little, there's a good couple of kilograms of heft there. There is, a nice weightiness to it. Not abhorrent, not in a way that you would think, wow, that's really too heavy or anything. That is the kind of weight that you could quite happily run with all day without really feeling it at all. It's a nice kind of weighting, and it feels rock solid. So I'll kind of do the front to back, and I'll talk about things as I've discovered and found. So out of the box, I found a lot of the screws were a little bit loose, and I've basically systematically gone through and tightened everything up. But we have got metal muzzle brake. Now, it is a 14mm negative thread, but it is, when it's tightened down, there's no grub screw or anything. It is tightened down to what I would consider the wrong orientation. And my OCD side of me says that it should sit in that sort of, or as close to that orientation as possible. Correct me if I'm wrong. It might be that way up for people. Let me know if the little V should be at the top, left, right, or bottom. It bothers me a little bit, but obviously when you're playing, you're not going to notice that. You've then got a flip up sight, which we're going to press down this little button, flip it up. Now it won't move. We'll flip up the rear sight as well. Just a single aperture, I believe, on that, so there's no change in aperture on that. So you've just got a single sight, relatively easy to use, and then when we want to fold it down, we're just going to press the button and it folds down, and the back one just goes again. I'm not sure. Oh, it is. I was just going to say, I'm not sure if it's adjustable. Now that is, I'll flip it back up. You can get some a tool for it, or maybe some needle nose down there, and that will adjust up and down to suit your needs. You've got a little come on, Pheas, sling mounting point there at the front, on both sides, because obviously this is all about ambidextrous use. We've then got access to 4 rails basically, where you can access all manner of accessories to suit your needs basically on there. So you've got plenty of space for accessories. I was going to make reference to something there. The front sight obviously flips down, but generally largely stays on, but can be removed. You can basically, I believe, you undo the screw on each side, and then this will just come off if you want it off completely, if you're going to run a red dot. This one has just got a screw here, and it opens up this bracket, and this will come off as well. Your top rail then is absolutely enormous, because maybe you want the magnifier and all that kind of jazz on there, whatever is your like. Now the whole upper receiver is metal. Now what I have forgot to get, and I will grab it now, is my magnet to see if anything is steel based, or at least iron based. Now, I've still not found a good cool magnet. So appreciate the guys on the Discord just highlighting doing this. Now, the bolt right there in the middle of the front sight is metal. The muzzle brake is steel. Nothing else really. The screws, it would seem. The body pins in general and screws are steel. Anything else seems to be like aluminium and things like that. So something to watch out for. Now, at the minute, out of the box, it came with a right hand charging handle attached. Now, it looks like I can attach both at the same time, which I don't think is right. I think the intention is it's one or the other. So that technically means the other one is a spare, I'm guessing. Now, what I did find is from the retailer, this plate here was not sat back properly in the charging handle assembly. So this plate was just literally loosely flying up and down and not attached to anything. Because I've done the disassembly, part of the reason I've done the disassembly was to basically get that reattached properly. So now it works properly as you would expect it to do. Unfortunately, it would be nice if it could lock back like on an M4 type, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. We have got a rotary style hop unit. Now it does look like it's M4 based, however I think it's longer and a different design to an M4, a slightly different design, so it's not going to take M4 hop units. We are going to roll hop down, and I will talk about range shortly when I talk about the shooting tests and things like that. As you can see, they are very, very, very similar, but the AR type hop unit is just sort of probably not even a centimetre shorter than the Scar one, which obviously accommodates the longer nozzle and everything and different sizes, so they are not compatible with each other. It is effectively a proprietary hop unit, but it's nice to see not a split type. The all-in-one unit I think is much better. Then got, so that's the upper receiver. Then coming to the lower receiver, then we've got a polymer lower receiver. Now, as part of the disassembly, you do have to get some screwdrivers around and basically perform some sort of witchcraft and awfulness to get the gearbox out. The gearbox, the polymer is very strong, but got plenty of flex in it to let you get that gearbox out. So it has taken some real punishment, and literally you would never know that I'd even been in there with the sort of the niceness of it still. And even compressing it, you know, there's not much flex in it. It feels solid, combined with the upper receiver as well. You know, other than the charging handle assembly wobbles a little bit, the plate in there wobbles, there is no real movement or creaking in it or anything. I like the enlarged sort of trigger guard, plenty of room in there for my hand with gloves on. The selector's all right, it's not amazing. It is ambidextrous, which is nice. You know, it's quite nice sort of getting it open and things. It literally just, there's no functionality to it, the charging handle, other than exposing the hop unit. It's literally just for show. The mag release is ambidextrous, so you've got a button on this side and you've got a press button on that side. Let's have a quick test of how well that works. So the button on the right, absolutely fine. The button on the left, also absolutely fine. There we go, there's the mag, damaging my mat even more. Pistol grip, it is not quite sharp cornered like we've seen before in some others. It's actually like some effort has been made to sort of round it off, so it's quite a nice feel on that, even without gloves. Not that I would condone or advise playing without gloves. You're not going to rub or get sore from any sharp corners there, which is quite nice. And then coming back into the stock, where this is the first time I've seen this done in a Scar. This is not the battery compartment, and in fact I'll include a little bit of video that I shot for the sort of channel members. This is just like a weird little storage bit. There's no battery connection there. No, what the hell is that? That is not where the battery goes. Where does it go? Right in there. That's right, it goes in there. The battery goes in there. Now, I'm going to be really honest, from a Scar point of view, that's probably the easiest, best battery compartment I've ever seen. So we've got, if we hinge it open, we've just got a straight white battery feed straight from the gearbox through these open holes, which makes that really easy. There's no weird funny hinge. There's no weird contact system that's ultimately awkward or anything like that. It's just a straight wire through. Obviously, just be careful that you're not catching them when you're folding your stock back in, and the battery sits in there. A little bit disappointed again that we're still on mini Tamiya, but you know that it is what it is. As a quick explainer, mini Tamiya's absolutely fine initially when they're brand new, but over time, let's see if we can get down there and have a look. Down time, you can see there's some little metal tubes down there. Over time, those open up more and more, and they basically create less and less connection, so they add resistance and things like that. They're just not an amazing connector, particularly for medium and long term. A Dean's connector, which is my current favourite, I know a lot of people go into like XT60s, you've got the two metal plates that basically, they don't adjust, they don't change, they stay and keep that maintained contact, so things are much better. So that's the battery compartment. We'll explore that after the shooting stuff. So put that back down. So we have got obviously the ability to fold and lock our stock in position, and to unfold it again, we just pull down ever so lightly and click it back round. You can adjust your cheek rest to either down or up to obviously help a little bit if you wanted to get a bit comfortable. And then we've got the ability to adjust 3 positions out as well. Now I'm finding that fully collapsed, that is the perfect shape for me and perfect length, and I like to feel as compact and compressed in as possible. So that's a really, really nice position for that stock to be in for me. But you have got that adjustment there, and it adds, you know, up to a couple of inch extra length on it. Even that's not uncomfortable, even for me, and my preferences are for being as compact as possible, which is really fun considering I'm a guy that is built for comfort, not speed. So we're going to cut. I'm going to show you the shooting tests and things, and then we'll talk about it. We'll talk about mags, we'll do the gloved operation and everything, and we'll take it from there. Go. A bit windy. So 285, 277, sort of, what's that, 8 FPS variants, pretty good. Group in 288 average, but don't forget this is downgraded for UK market FPSs. Nearly 12 rounds a second. Wow. Bit of a, I think I let go of the trigger a bit early before, about 19.5 rounds a second. So, back then from obviously showing you the shooting test. Range wise, not amazing, sort of like your 40-ish, no, I'm going to say it's over 45 meters, maybe close to 50. It's not the best we've ever seen. I would expect it'll probably settle over time. The barrel wasn't the cleanest when I did this disassembly. I would expect it'll probably settle, possibly a slight improvement, but didn't blow me away. But nor are you going to be underperforming. You know, you're going to be on par with other people, largely speaking, unless they've invested a lot in their setup and things. So it was okay. It wasn't amazing, but it was okay, in terms of that. In terms of chrono then, this has obviously been downgraded for UK specs, so the retailers put a spring in it basically, which has given us that low FPS. Fairly tight groupings of FPS, which has been quite nice. You know, even for something that's Chinese made, the compression is excellent in the gearbox. was really good. Rate of fire is pretty much standard, exactly what we'd expect, sort of like 12-ish rounds per second and your 18-ish rounds a second. It is more or less what we would expect. Again, nothing to blow you away, but you know, their budget price point, you are getting a good deal, really, aren't you? You know, you're not going to be underperforming. Even at a 7.4, that kind of rate of fire, it only takes one BB to take somebody out of the game, sort of thing. So I did forget to reference that there is a quick change spring system. However, to get to it, you need to remove these bolts, and this back plate needs to come up and off, and then you need to remove these three bolts. Well, to be fair, you could get away with leaving this stock on, but 3 bolts there, the back plate comes off, then you can access the quick change spring system. So it's not quite as easy as some AR versions, but it is in there, and it is moderately easy to access, and you might be able to see it just down in there, possibly, hopefully, if the camera's focused on it properly. So nice little addition. It's not as quick and easy as it might be for other things, but you know, there is that ability in there to do a moderately quick gear change, which, considering how much of a pain the selectors are, you will be thankful of them. Okay, so in terms of mags then, we tried it with the high cap included. We tried it with some Battle Axe 150 round mid caps, which actually look rather spiffing in there and fit rather nicely in there. I think that looks really, really nice. I think it looks better than those style of mags. We tried it with Nuprol and SEMA high caps as well, and everything fit and fed lovely without any issues whatsoever. So I was really happy that there is a wide variety. So any sort of traditional Airsoft AR type mags that you've got laying around will go in, generally speaking, will go in this and feed without any real issues. So gloved operation then, let's have a look at this, and whilst I'm doing that, I'll talk about the high cap mag and loading it. I'm going to keep repeating this story about high cap mags because it still horrifies me to this day. So let's have a quick look at first. So the front sight, I can easily get on that front sight and get that down. Same with the back sight, easy enough. The selector is easy enough to do. The trigger, plenty of room in there. Pistol grip is nice and comfortable. The mag release, nice and easy to get that in and out. Now, I do like that I don't have to take my finger off the trigger to go to this one. I can actually keep my finger there, press that one, and then chuck my next mag in and carry on shooting. That's quite a nice, with the ambidextrous, that's quite a nice feel to it. The stock, I can definitely open and adjust the stock. The battery connectors might be a bit of a fiddle with the gloves on as such, but I'm pretty sure with a bit of faffing I could do a tactical stock change. I can definitely adjust it and fold it. I can definitely access the hop. Same problem as usual is I know I'm adjusting it, I just couldn't tell you how much. I've not got that quite tactile feel to know exact. And then in terms of the high cap, this is a high cap, so to fill this we open the hatch, which was very easy to do with the gloves on, and you pour your BBs in there. What I have seen is people speed loading into there using a speed loader or other tool to fill that bit up, then complaining that it wasn't working properly, and then not put BBs in there. And then I've seen people put BBs in there and fill that up, but not wind it. But underneath, once you fill the BBs up, you close the hatch, you wind the mag, little wheel at the bottom, and you are tightening a spring up, which will feed BBs up first. Then you put a spring under compression. It will go for quite some time. Excuse me. And then it will make a clicking noise that indicates the mag's fully wound, the spring's fully wound. What you need to do is, when you're in game, let some rounds off, wind it back up. Let some rounds off, 20, 30, 40 rounds, wind it back up to make sure that it stays wound wherever there are BBs in there. So I am happy with gloved operation and everything. The last thing I want to have a look at with you then is battery space. I'm going to grab a couple more batteries that we're going to have a look at. So, it's not the biggest of battery compartments, but I think it's more convenient than traditionally what you get on a SCAR. So bring my wire up out of the way. Now I can make it longer. If I extend the stock out, I can make it longer. Now, I don't think I've got the angle to get something like that, and that's a Nuprol 7.4 1200 milliamp. And same with I've got the 11.1 version of that. There is just not enough angle to get that in there So you're going to need something, nor do I think there is the space either to get any there. So what I've got instead is I've got my 2200 milliamp 7.4. This is what I usually use for the chrono, for the rectifier test. Now, if I lay that down, just watching the wires, that will go in there. If I compress the stock, I am going to be a little bit short on battery space, but with the stock extended, I have got, in fact, I'm just going to unhinge this off. There we go. I have got space in there where I can get that battery in there. If I compress the stock fully, I'm going to possibly just have enough with the space that's underneath there. I've probably got enough to have the wiring coiled up and things, but I'm going to work that out now. Where you're going to be better is I've got like an 1100 11.1 there, so I'm going to need a couple of those because I'm pretty trigger happy. There is loads of room in there to have all the wiring and everything all coiled up together. I've just noticed there's a little bit of metal exposed there. Probably need to put something on that and look after that. So I get that out, that fits well. I've got an 800 milliamp 11.1. Again, fits in there absolutely perfect, plenty of room for the wire. And then I've got the Giant Power 7.4 1000 milliamps. Again, absolutely easy peasy, loads of room in there and all the wiring, and that's with the stock fully collapsed as well. So there is a lot of options in there. You're just going to have to go for the smaller lipos in there. But I really like that style of battery system on a Sky. It's the first time I've ever seen it done, and I think it's absolutely fantastic that that's done and makes battery changes and generally just the hinge, you know, repairs for messing with wiring and things like that, miles better. So I'm just going to hook that onto there, lock that down, lock it down again. So I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I like it a lot more than I expected to like it, to be honest. It's really solid as a piece of kit, performs moderately well. You know, it's a standard generic version 2 gearbox internally for when you're doing parts and repairs and maintenance and things like that. A little bit tricky to get the gearbox out because of the selectors, they're a bit of a pain. The battery compartment I think is a touch of genius, but it is really well built, plenty of accessory space. You know, if you're looking for a Scar, you could do a lot worse, I'll be honest. So, hope you've enjoyed that. Please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. I'm going to leave some pictures of it done up a little bit at the end there. And I will see you next time. Bye.